Hey everybody, Marcus C. Williams here. And boy howdy have we got some awesome stuff for you today. I mean, we're really gonna have to start calling these things something like you can't make this stuff up. So I live in Rochester. I'm living in the 137th Assembly District. This year I'm running for Assembly. Um, I cover most of Rochester. It covers most of Rochester, and it covers all of Gates. So check this out. In Rochester, we've got this. It's like an expressway, throughway, whatever you want to call it. Basically, it circled the whole of the central part of the city, which they now call Center City, and they've been trying to systematically fill it in, and they've been calling it equity and inclusion and stuff like this. But check this out. Where they filled it in right now, okay, which is the South Inner Loop, they call it. Where they filled that in, all they did was put in high-priced condos, okay, stuff that is a one-bedroom condo, $250,000, okay. Not that I'm against, entrepreneurship and business development and developing different things and stuff like that. I really am. It's just, don't sell me a false bill of goods. And this isn't the building developer's fault. This is the city, okay? The building developers said exactly what they're going to build. They're like, we're going to build extended stay hotels. Like Rochester needs that. We need housing, affordable housing for people because we are the third most we're the second most high rate of child poverty in the state. We're the third worst city for black people to live in the country. So we have one of the highest poverty rates in the nation. So we need property that people can buy that's affordable, not long-term extended stay houses, not condos that are $200,000, not super fancy restaurants that cost $50 a meal. So those are the things that we don't need. But they filled in the inner loop anyway, and they told us it was going to be restoring neighborhoods and reconnecting neighborhoods and stuff like that. And again, I'm not against what was built. I'm against the bill of sales that was sold by the city to us, the public, telling us that it was going to be good for the people who are less affluent, who make less than $250,000 a year. It's a god dang it lie, right? So they filled in the inner loop south, and they put all of this high-cost housing there. Okay. Now, it wasn't that bad because that neighborhood over there is a little more affluent, right? And if you go down some more towards the East Ave area, they're kind of, it's a weird, like you'd have to know Rochester. If you don't know Rochester, whatever. But they're a little more affluentish over there, okay? They're not really high like some portions of the city, but they're a little more well-to-do. Like it's a nicer area. But we do have one apartment complex over in that area where they're trying to kick everybody out because they're low income and they're in need of assistance. They're like handicapped and, well, handicapable, whatever the case is. It's not assisted living, but, for people who need assistance. Anyway, and they're trying to get rid of them. But we're talking about the North Inner Loop now. So the North Inner Loop, okay, is over by a neighborhood that is extremely economically challenged, okay, extremely. Like not like if I it like when I say poor, I mean poor, okay. Like a lot of the people that live in the neighborhood over there have lived there, some of them their whole lives, some of them multiple generations. The ones that own their house, they probably got it from their grandparents, okay. Like these people don't have a lot of a lot. Okay, and that's a large, vast majority of that. Okay, I'm telling the story. It's legitimately the whole area of the North Inner Loop is like that. Okay, they're talking. Our mayor wants to fill it in, and he keeps telling us, "Oh, it's for equity. It's going to reconnect the neighborhoods and stuff like that." What you mean is it's going to connect the rest of the neighborhood over there with Center City, where all of the prices are already extremely high. What it's going to do is it's going to increase all of the costs for everybody that's living over there right now very, very, very dramatically. Okay, people that are already struggling might have had their house for a generation or two, or might have bought it uh, as their own little house or whatever when it was kind of affordable, who are already probably struggling from taxes. Their costs are going to go up. Okay, so they're going to be pushed out of their houses. It's going to be massive gentrification. They're telling us that it's reconnecting neighborhoods, and it's about equality and equity and social whatever they want, justice, whatever they want to call it. It's not, you guys. We're being sold another false bill of sale. Okay, so now, just yesterday, or maybe the day before, a couple days ago, I think. Yeah, no, yesterday. Yesterday was the 26th. So yesterday, the mayor came out and he was like, "Oh, we're introducing this new project, Buy the Block, which will allow people in this neighborhood over here," which I'm talking about over there in North Interloop area, because we've got so many vacant lots in so many of the impoverished parts of the city. And we're going to build 100 houses, not all over there. They're going to build like 24 houses over there. But we're going to build 100 houses so the poor people can buy houses in their neighborhoods. Okay, so let's go back a step. Have you seen the economy? Have you ever been poor? Are you working class? Because if you're working class, you'll understand this. So if you're working class, you've seen the skyrocketing prices of housing, not just to own a house, but to rent a house. You've seen the taxes go up and up and up. And in where we are in Monroe County and Rochester, we have the highest property taxes in the nation, not the state, the nation. And they keep going up. So we're being told that the houses are going to cost between $89,000 and $139,000. So yes, to most people, that sounds like a really, well, not most people, but, well, outside of Rochester and a lot of other people, that sounds like a really good price. But houses in that neighborhood are worth like $45,000, maybe $65,000. They're not worth $139,000, okay? And people that are already there that are impoverished in those neighborhoods aren't going to be able to afford that, okay? Then you're going to get them into a mortgage. It says that they actually have to stay there for 10 years if they purchase a house. Then you're going to get them into a mortgage where they're paying a ton of money a month, like probably like $900 a month, okay? Plus their taxes, plus gas and electric, okay? And we've seen the way the gas and electric prices are going because it's crazy, okay? So are they really going to be able to afford them? And if they do own them and they buy them, okay, they're still paying on them. Are they going to be able to pay the taxes? Are they going to be foreclosed on? Are they even going to be able, with the way that the economy is moving fastly digital, will they have a job in another 5 years? Like, these are the things that we have to think about. This is not the right way to go about this. Then they're talking about they got $19 million from the federal government to do this and put this together. Me, I'm a constitutionalist. I'm a conservative futurist, okay? That's how I identify, okay? However, at that price, why don't you just get them the houses? It's already our tax money that you're spending to give away to everybody else that's building the stuff. Just get them the house. Give it to them. Give it to them and then let them pay taxes on it. That's it. Get them the damn house. You're building 100 houses. You're putting 100 families that are from Rochester, that live in Rochester, in those houses, that are in poverty, that can afford the taxes on their house that, let's call it $65,000 a year. $65,000 a year or less that are able to pay the taxes on the houses can be entered into a lottery to win it. Okay? Like, I mean, this is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Just to let you know, comparatively, we've got, depending on how you count, we've got about 200,000 people in the city. Okay? Some people say it's considerably less, but I'll tell you right now. Population of Rochester, New York. Says 206 million people and on the decline. Okay. But, so yeah, like 200,000 people. So out of that, you figure, cut it in half. Every family make it up of two people, about two people. We got 100,000 people. Okay. Out of that, you say like 20%, you knock off 20% for people who are more well off. So you're down to 80,000 people. So out of 80,000 people, anybody that fits in this qualification, you put them in a lottery, they get entered in, bing, bang, boom. Then they can actually get the place. Now, mind you, like I said, they're going to have to be able to pay the taxes on them. So it's going to take some more people off of that. Because if they won't be able to pay the taxes, they can't have the property. Okay? So, and then you just give it to them. And then they can create generational wealth like that. You're talking about, okay, you want to do social justice, equity, inclusion, and stuff like that and help people build generational wealth. Do it like that. That's already our tax money out there. Okay, I don't want you setting these people up for failure. First of all, I really don't want you spending our money on this project to begin with. I have so many issues with this project, it's ridiculous. But if you are going to spend it on that, get them the properties, bro. Get them the daggone properties. Give it to them. You're already putting the money to spend the money. The money's already spent. So now you might as well get them the properties. Speaking of which, we got a basic income program for 500 families where they're giving 500 families, I think it's 500, no, I think it's 500. 500 families $1,000 a month right now. Okay? Or maybe it's 1,000 families, $500 a month. Whatever. I think it's the first one. Anyway, they're doing that, right? But it's supposed to be universal basic income, which means everybody gets it. So it's not really universal basic income. It's only income for some. That's actually pretty catchy. It's income for some. Anyway, but this all goes back to warped perception of the way that we actually need to work on our city and our society. If we're putting all this tax money into these things already, it's already basically paid for. Give them the houses. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I know that might sound a little socialist or whatever the case is. It's not. It's me being a good steward. Okay? If they're already spent the damn tax money, preferably they don't spend the tax money. They give you your tax money back, or they don't collect the tax money at all, and you can save your tax money. This is federal tax money, of course. And I know everybody'd love to keep their federal taxes. So, preferably, you get to keep that money. But since they already spending it, they might as well just give it to them because they're setting these people up for failure, and it's wrong. Then I was having a conversation with a friend of mine who doesn't live in the city. Well, actually, no. They live in the city. They just live in a less bad neighborhood. It's not the best neighborhood, but they live in a less bad neighborhood. And they're like, oh, man, that's a good price. I'd like to get that as a house, you know? And I'm like, but you don't live in that neighborhood and you kind of make more than the people that really live in that neighborhood. Like, they're not well off, but it's not as impactful as it is to a lot of people in my district for them. So I'm just like, but you think that's a good price, but the people that live there know that's not a good price, but you could actually afford that price. So that means that you, not necessarily them, because them won't want to live where that is right now, but they might want to live there later after they fill in the inner loop and make it all pretty. So that is really what's going to end up happening. They're not really well off, but they're more well off than a lot of the people in the city. Like I said, like most of the people in the city don't make $65,000 a year. So, which honestly isn't that much money at all to begin with, but that's a whole nother conversation. That's a lot to most of the people in the city. But if they think that that's that like that, that means that people in that price bracket and that income range are going to be more likely to move over there and buy up those houses because they can afford those houses. Okay? So that also means that if they put somebody in that house that's from that neighborhood that isn't in that price range, that isn't in that budget range like my friend, then they won't be able to pay the taxes. They won't be able to pay the mortgage, and you're setting this person up for failure. You're setting them up for failure. And then it'll be back on the auction in a couple years. Like, this is very, very wrong. And I don't like that they're setting people up for failure. I could go into this more, but it's messed up, you guys. It's gentrification on a massive scale. And here's the issue, right? We talk about gentrification and people are like, oh, it's race, it's race, it's race. It is not race. Nothing in our country really has been about race for probably the last 20, 30 years, okay? Actually, probably since like the 80s, it hasn't really been about race. It's been about socioeconomic status. That means how much of this you got, that's what it's about. How much is this you got, that's what socioeconomic status is about. And that's really what they're looking at. And that's really what they're trying to drive out is the poor people or people that are less affluent, middle class people, working class people. That's who they're really trying to gentrify. Okay? That's who they're trying to move out. It just so happens that for various reasons, and yes, we can go back to some discriminatory practices in history, that black people tend to fall in that category more than a lot of other people in urban centers. That's the important part, in urban centers, because there's a lot of poor white people out there across the country, more poor white people than there are poor black people. But that goes down to a whole different concept about breeding and birth rates and stuff like that. And yes, black people do have a negative birth rate right now. We're very much on the verge of going extinct by 2050, which is a whole nother conversation for another video. So, and yes, that is a fact. You can go look that up right now. Okay? Matter of fact, Nixon warned us about that back when he was president. He said, we got to get the blacks off of social services because in 100 years, what did he say? He said in 500 years, they won't be here anymore or something like that. It was either 500 or 100. I think he said he said 500, right? Because it's 50 years since Nixon was in office and he's already been proven right. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, and these type of things right here, this type of a program is only going to hurt more black people, okay? Again, like I said, it's really socioeconomic. It's not about black or white or whatever. It just so happens these neighborhoods tend to be predominantly black because of the socioeconomic status in urban environments, specifically in Rochester, because that is where we are. You guys, this is wrong, and that's all I got to say on it. It's not the right use of our tax funds. It's not the right type of program that we need. So much things could be done with this $19 million to help improve the welfare of both communities and people who are middle class and lower class that need a hand up and not a handout. Imagine how many workforce development jobs those could be if they put those monies toward businesses to hire people and pay people. That's a lot of jobs. And you could do on-the-job training with that money. That's a lot of jobs. And these are there's so much better ways. You could have put it, they could have put it in a bond. Well, maybe not a bond. We see the way the bond market is doing some things. But, a safe investment stock or something, Shoot, we've got city mutual. We got city surety bonds in the city, and we've got A+ ratings. So, in theory, that means the money's going to keep growing. Well, they could have put it there. I mean, there's any number of things. They could have put it in an investment project. So, they want to buy up the block. They could say, here's $19 million for the community. We're going to put it in this investment project, and we're going to pay you back dividends. Everybody gets, like they do in Alaska when they pump the oil. Everybody gets money, a check every year from the government for pumping the oil out. So they could do something like that. Are they doing that? No. They're choosing to do this, which is going to hurt people that are already economically impacted by the way our economy and our country is set up right now. So it's not right, it's not good, and I'm looking for better for our city, our state, and our nation. And that's one of the big reasons why I'm running for 137th Assembly, because I really do care, and I'm not able to express that to you guys enough. I have real plans, real solutions, and I look at things really pragmatically. So I don't really take sides on too much of anything when it comes to how I have to look at something that's going to be impactful to everybody. I can look and analyze and assess things and say, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best way. Maybe we could do it better this way. Have you considered all of the things and all the variables that you really need to consider? And usually the answer is no, they haven't. We just need better people that care more, that are going to look at greater scheme of things and see what could really be impactful and how we can help maximize the number of people that we can assist in growing and developing so that everybody can rise up together. It's that simple. So again, Marcus C. Williams here. Please check out my website, Marcus4Rochester.com. That's Marcus4Rochester.com. If you like what I'm saying, if you really want some change, if you want to join in the fight, please check out my website, and you can donate either time or money or both. We need both things. I need assistance knocking on doors, talking to people, letting them know that they got options and that they can vote different. Because that's what we really need. We need people to vote different, vote row B. I will be on row B this year, so vote row B for me, Marcus C. Williams. Okay? If you want to donate some money, please do that. Campaigns don't run on fumes. I wish they did, but we do need some finances. I hate asking for money. It's so frustrating, but I got to do it. So please, if you can donate or know somebody that can donate, let them know. Say, hey man, we got a real chance with this guy. We can actually get some impactful stuff that's insightful done, and at least we can have somebody that'll champion for us, at least, because nobody's championing for us right now. And I will be that somebody to stand up, speak up, and I damn sure won't shut up. So you know what you get out of me. I'm straightforward. I'm to the point. I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. So you don't have to guess with me on any day. All right? So again, if you like what I'm saying, check me out. Marcus, 4, Rochester.com. Pitch in, tell your friends, tell your family members, fuck it, tell your enemies, because we really got to vote different. Okay, we got to get everybody out. And everybody knows that shit's messed up right now. So tell them, get out, vote different, vote row B, and vote Marcus C. Williams. I'll catch you guys later. Be blessed, be well.